So 1,100 men went in the war. 316 men come out. The Sharks took the rest June the 29th, 1945. Anyway, we delivered the bomb.
In July 1945, the USS Indianapolis had just completed a top-secret mission, delivering components of the atomic bomb to the island of Tinian, which would later be dropped on Hiroshima. The ship was traveling unescorted through the Philippine Sea on its way to Leyte Gulf when disaster struck. At 12:15 a.m., the Indianapolis was struck by 2 torpedoes from the Japanese submarine I-58. The ship sank in just 12 minutes. Of the nearly 1,200 men aboard, around 300 went down with the ship, the rest were left stranded at sea. 900 survivors entered the water, but they were stranded in shark-infested waters with no supplies aside from life jackets and a few life rafts. For 4 days and 5 nights, the sailors drifted in the open ocean, exposed to dehydration, hypothermia, hallucinations, saltwater poisoning, and worst of all, shark attacks. The survivors were attacked relentlessly by oceanic white-tip sharks. The dead and dying were especially targeted. It became one of the worst shark attack incidents in history.
When I say we had company at any given time, you could look out, actually on the surface, you could look out and you see a big fin out there swimming around and around and around, seemingly out of fairness to the sharks. They weren't going to attack us, but you can imagine, the fright that we were experiencing just to think that, look at the sharks. And if you couldn't see a fin out there, if you look down in the water, put your head in the water, you can see them swimming down under you. And then every little bit, even that first day, there were those who maybe had been injured and maybe they have a temperature, they begin to hallucinate, and they imagine they see an island out there and they swim out to that island, and then you hear a blood-curdling scream and you see that kapok jacket go under, and then momentarily then it brings the remains of the body back up to the surface.
Because of communications errors in the top-secret mission, the ship was not reported missing. The Navy did not know the ship had gone down. On August 2nd, a routine patrol plane spotted survivors by chance. Only 316 men were rescued alive. The ship's captain, 𝒊𝒏𝒕𝒊𝒏𝒈 III, was accused of failing to zigzag to avoid submarines and failure to order abandoned ship in a timely manner. Many believed he was unfairly blamed. Even the Japanese sub-commander testified that zigzagging wouldn't have saved them. 𝒕𝒊𝒂𝒏𝒂𝒃 tragically died by suicide in 1968. In 2000, the U.S. Congress exonerated 𝒕𝒊𝒂𝒏 and formally cleared his name.
Very first light, Chief. Sharks come cruising. So we formed ourselves into tight groups. It's kind of like old squares in a battle, like you see in a calendar, like the Battle of Waterloo, and the idea was shark comes to the nearest man, that man he starts pounding and hollering and screaming. Sometimes the shark would go away. Sometimes he wouldn't go away. Sometimes that shark, he looks right into you, right into your eyes. The thing about a shark, he's got lifeless eyes, black eyes, like a doll's eyes. When he comes at you, he doesn't seem to be living until he bites you. And those black eyes roll over white, and then you hear that terrible high-pitched screaming. The ocean turns red, and in spite of all the pounding and the hollering, they all come in and they rip you to pieces.